you know it's our favorite broadcast every season here in the Madden Bomber League. It is Super Bowl time as we find out who will be crowned champions of Season 44. It is the NFC champ, the Atlanta Falcons, taking on the AFC champion, the New England Patriots. It's going to be a phenomenal show. Before we get there, we have ourselves an NBL Live pregame show. It is brought to you each and every week. Not only the pregame show, but our entire NBL Live broadcast is sponsored by Elgato. Big shout out to Elgato, everybody over there. Miguel hooking us up. He and Elgato have been such a phenomenal sponsor of NBL Live from the beginning, and we want to thank Elgato for supporting NBL Live with a sponsorship. We use so much of Elgato's products, from the stream decks to the capture cards, the key lights, the green screens. They have so many products that will help you up your stream game. If you want to up your stream game, head over to Elgato.com. Grab yourself some of Elgato's fine array of products. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I'm Nick Mazesco, your NBL Network Director. Joining me back in the booth, the A-Team back together. It is the commissioner of the NBL. It is Bomber. I feel like I got to say this to you whenever you're on the broadcast with me for the Super Bowl. I know you'd much rather be playing for a championship, but a nice consolation prize. We get to call this great Super Bowl, and this is really a matchup between, it's weird to say David versus Goliath considering how good the Atlanta Falcons have been, but the way Motor and the New England Patriots have been this entire cycle, they look pretty tough to beat.
Yeah, it's a really tough team, and if any team can kind of find their way around the difficulty of navigating against that high-powered defense, it will be the Atlanta Falcons. We've seen the Carolina Panthers try and fail, but the Atlanta Falcons have something that Carolina doesn't have, and that's big-time play ability on the offensive side of the ball. Not only, they don't score the traditional ways. They like to score outside of the 40 in Atlanta. That means once they get it slightly past midfield, that's when you got to have your heads up and be ready to rock and roll, because this team is very electric and dangerous to get into the end zone, deep away from their end zone, and find ways to put six on the board.
I give a big shout out, by the way, D Grizzle TV with the 2 months of subscribing to the NBL Network. Thank you so much for supporting Franchise Mode and the Madden Bomber League. Let's get right to it. Let's take a look at our players to watch for today's NBL Super Bowl. What is this? Is this 329? Is that where we are? Broadcast 329?
Yeah, this is 329.
Let's go. We got the number right yesterday. Let's start off with the NFC champions, the Atlanta Falcons. And boy, this wide receiving core is very, very talented for the Falcons, and is led by, of course, Calvin Ridley, who is continuing to have such a phenomenal season. The X factor on the offensive side of the ball, 79 catches, 1,368 yards, and 15 touchdowns for Calvin Ridley. And Bomber, some of the hardest part about facing this Atlanta Falcons team, they can run the ball with Ito Smith, but once they get passing, it's not just Ridley. They have a wide array of weapons on the offensive side of the ball. The question is, are they going to be able to move the ball against the New England Patriots defense that's going to try to get after them with Chase Winovich, and with their talented secondary, they're going to be able to score some of those touchdowns outside the 40 that they've been so good at getting?
Hey, those are the questions that come up about, the Atlanta Falcons versus this defense. I think so. Without Stephon Gilmore, it's really going to open up this passing attack, and it's not going to be just one lockdown corner on one side. Then you got Motor Usering on the other side. He's going to have to pick and choose where he goes as far as defensively with the user. But you got Gray, and you have that speedster Ridley we're talking about, along with the dynamic play at the running back position from Ito Smith. I think they can get it done tonight. I don't think there's much of an underdog, as many might presume, going into this game.
You look at their wide receiving core. Calvin Ridley, 1,300 yards. Devin Gray, 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns. Austin Hooper at tight end has 9 touchdowns. And for the New England Patriots, they're going to be matched up with J.C. Jackson and Joanne Williams and Jonathan Jones. So we'll be able to see if they're able to contain this passing attack. For the New England Patriots, the story has been Tyree Jackson at quarterback. A passer rating of 149.6, 4,800 yards, just about 47 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions. When Tom Brady retired, Bomber, everybody in the league went, finally, we're going to be able to get a crack at Motor. And Tyree Jackson has sat there and gone, hold on, we still got a pretty good quarterback over there. How about the development of Tyree Jackson into a top, maybe 2 quarterback in the NBL?
You look at Tyree and his ability, the arguable, probably not even really an argument, the favorite to win the NBL Season 44 Most Valuable Player Award. You look at Tyree Jackson, the 47 touchdowns, nearly 5,000 yards. We thought we were going to see a dip after Tom Brady's explosive run on the scene there in NBL Season 40, our kickoff inaugural season for Madden 20, but NBL season 41, Brady just completely went off the rails against the Chiefs in the playoffs. You remember that game, 6 picks. So then they come in, they bring in this Tyree Jackson. You know, we've heard about him. They brought him in from the practice squad, and you know, at the beginning of NBL season 40, and he's kind of just slowly been maybe get a snap here or there. He comes out 144 QBR to post to start his NBL career, and he hasn't looked back since, and he's playing his best brand of football right now. Over 80% completions, 149 QBR, only sacked 31 times, and a 47-7 touchdown to interception ratio. Man, Tom Brady, who a lot of people probably out there saying, hey, we don't need the GOAT of all time, the greatest of all time. We don't need him. We got Tyree Action Jackson. He's making plays for days.
Fun fact, Tyree Jackson in outside the NBL. In the NBL, he's playing in the NBL Super Bowl. Outside the NBL, he's currently playing for the DC Defenders in the XFL. So we'll see if he has success in the XFL. Bomber, this is a very interesting game. Hushram saying, what's the spread? 10.5. That's what I said to that yesterday. If the Atlanta Falcons, I gave the Patriots minus 10.5 because that's how much respect I have for this Patriots team, both offensively and defensively. Let's get some predictions. I want to see what you guys say in the chat. But Bomber, how are you seeing the Super Bowl going? The Patriots so dominant. A rematch, I believe, of the season 40 Super Bowl. Can Cringe get another Super Bowl title? Will Motor continue his dominance here in Madden 20?
Man, I got to go with Motor tonight if I'm betting with my brain, right? I'm going to take Motor 27, 20. Actually, you know what? A little higher scoring. Let's go 38-31 Motor over the Atlanta Falcons. But my heart, you know, where it's a little bit more emotional, what I want to see, right? I could see the Atlanta Falcons edging them out 38-35. It could be Falcons over the New England Patriots. But my brain's saying 38-31. Patriots over Falcons. So either way, I'm going to be right in some way, Nick. So I've kind of set myself up. So what say you? Where you at with this game?
Ooh, this is going to be a tough one. I got the New England Patriots in this one. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. Give me the Patriots 38-31 in this one. I think the Falcons can keep it close. I just don't think...
I picked 38-31.
I know.
You can't go 38-31.
I am going 38-31. I like that number because I just don't think the Falcons have the ability to get stops, and that's where I think it's going to be made. But there's only one way to find out. Let's get
But you're with me on board about the Atlanta Falcons being able to put points on the board versus this defense. It's going to be an exciting game. Stay around for all 4 quarters. Never count out the Falcons because they just had a comeback win against the Carolina Panthers in the against the Minnesota Vikings in the NFC Championship game. Easy for me to say. And they've been, you know, always been the comeback kings in the NBL, so never count them out even if they get down early.
Let's get right to it. Let's crown a champion here for season 44. Coming up next, it is Super Bowl time here in the Madden Bomber League. It's the Atlanta Falcons taking on the New England Patriots. Who will get the title? Who will get the banner? We'll find out in about 45 minutes time right here on NBL Live.
I just want to say, hey, man, this is T.O., the cover athlete of the Madden 19 Hall of Fame edition, and you're watching the gold standard of the franchise mode, the MBL Network. Holla.
It is time indeed. The season 44 Super Bowl is finally here. The champions of the NFC, the Atlanta Falcons, taking on the champions of the AFC, the New England Patriots. So happy to have you guys along with us to NBL Live, presented by Elgato. I am Nick Mazesco, your NBL Network Director. Joining me, as always, the commissioner of the NBL, it is Bomber. Bomber, the Falcons start off the ball first. We are live from Arizona, and look at those crispy, bright red uniforms. The Falcons have broken out for the Super Bowl.
I like him, looking a little fresh. We got to get some Ito Smith going early and often in this game. He's going to struggle to get a run here on first down. Going to make it a 2nd and 12, but let's talk a little bit about Ito Smith. 110 carries, Nick, 578 yards, 2 touchdowns. Everyone's saying, but Bomber was hyping this guy up. 578, 2 touchdowns. What's the big deal? It's been about what he's done in the playoffs, and he's been pretty phenomenal leading this ground and pound attack that was 10th in the NBL this season in the passing attack 4th. So they can hit you in both balanced attack here for the Atlanta Falcons. Big plays on both sides of the passing attack and running attack.
The rookie Sam McCoy looking to lead the Falcons to a Super Bowl title in his first season at the helm. It's a 2nd and 12 as McCoy drops back, pressure down the middle. There it goes. Down goes McCoy. That's what the Patriots do. They'll bring pressure from all angles. Let's get to some of the predictions in the chat. Hushroom saying 35-31 Falcons. Coog saying Motor by 12. JB saying Falcons 24, Pats 23. Miller Thriller saying Pats by 14. Fupachi is saying 38-20 Pats. Draco saying 32-10 Patriots. Man, this is a interesting to see the chat, because I don't know if it's hope the Falcons win this one, but it is a little bit of all over the place. Common Sense saying Motor by 5. Planet saying 31-14 Falcons. Cam Newton saying Falcons 28-3. That one's funny.
All right, here comes the pressure here. Watch this, 3rd and 19. Let's see if Atlanta's going to have the wherewithal to get rid of it, this young rookie quarterback.
That offensive line held up, and then they said that was accurate. Bomber, that didn't look that accurate.
He was going back to the dig on the left side, but, man, he had the crossing route wide open. I think he missed that, Nick. Did you see that guy coming across the field?
Yeah, he was wide open.
Yeah, and he went back to the deep dig on the left side. He could have hit that crossing route, put some air underneath the ball. A little rookie mistake for the rookie, Sam McCoy, starting quarterback here for the Atlanta Falcons.
Shout out to Project Fat with the 500 bits. Who needs to submit picks for NBL Live when you can donate a little bit of cash? Got him. Dunk on him. Dunk on him. You can see this Patriots offense come out on the field. And this is where it gets dangerous, Bomber, because you just sit there and you go, the Patriots really are one stop away from running away from this game because they are so tough to stop offensively.
Yeah, just give some insight. When I play the New England Patriots, I always know when you're playing from behind against them, it's very tough. They're a very great front-running team. You got to put some pressure on them. You like to start off opening drives with scores. Didn't happen with the Falcons, but let's see if the defense can get in the backfield.
That is Will Stevens taking the carry. What a phenomenal rookie season he had. He's continued to make plays. But Earl Thomas, the ageless wonder right down the gap. A shout out to the Gov with 5 Tier 1 gift subs. 73 gifted in the channel. Fupa Cheese, Pricey, Austin Wedgie, Wags, and Josh B. Make sure you thank the governor for your sub. Shotgun formation for Tyree Jackson, undrafted out of the University of Buffalo. Shout out to Maction, the Buffalo Bulls. I want to call them the Bills all the time, but they're the Bulls. Bright blue unis. Come out, trips formation. As Tyree Jackson drops back, 4-man rush. He's going to look right side. Earl Thomas is there. He's made 2 plays, and Motor throws a pick. Oh, it's a miracle in Arizona as the Atlanta Falcons get a turnover back the other way. Maybe some nerves from Motor, looking for another Super Bowl title.
Yeah, the Baltimore Ravens and Earl Thomas could not come to an agreement at the end of his contract. They ended up kind of leaving on a little bit of bad terms. They said ET3 was pretty much done, but right there, he shows his veteran savvy, making a big play to start this game and giving Sam McCoy another shot to try to put points on the board, this time with much better field position, 44 yards away from 6. Let's see if they can get it done here on their second drive.
Shout out to Project Fat with the 5 Tier 1 gift subs. 27 total in the channel. Antoine King Lee, Goldie Dines, Cooperative, and King of Smoke. Make sure you thank the big man, Project Fat, a.k.a. Nathan Baird, a.k.a. the Nap King himself, with those 5 Tier 1 gift subs. Season 44 Super Bowl underway. First drive, Atlanta couldn't get anything going. First play of this drive, Atlanta can't get anything going. Earl Thomas has been the story. Draco in the chat saying ET3 still has the speed to lurk even the best quarterbacks, and that says a lot about Earl Thomas. Gun bunch for Sam McCoy and the Atlanta Falcons. Ito Smith on the left hip. Flip the bunch over to the left side. Calvin Ridley on the outside of that bunch.
Get a corner with Calvin Ridley here. Or, excuse me, a corner with number 10. I believe that's Gray.
McCoy dropping back. Drag underneath is open. He'll find Gray, number 15, with the catch and the first down. And more. And there goes Gray inside the 10 to the 6-yard line. The breakaway speed from these Atlanta Falcons receivers. If you don't have the angle, you don't have the tackle.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about speed. Sorry for the confusion. Number 10 is Marquise Goodwin. That's 95 speed. And then you got our man, number 18, Calvin Ridley. That's a ton of speed there, 95 speed as well. And then you have Devin Gray, who was the number 2 receiver, 57 catches, over 1,000 yards, 93 speed, 95 excel at 6 foot out of Cincinnati. Making plays already for this team. They're trying to get on the board first.
Cincinnati Bearcats. Bearcats. Ito Smith, oh, he may be diminutive, but he sure is a grown man as Ito Smith shakes off a tackle on his way to the first touchdown here in the Season 44 Super Bowl.
Yeah, you got Ito Smith kind of moving like Emmitt Smith inside the red zone, inside the 5. A little power run right there, shrugs the defender off. Easy peasy, 7 on the board now for Atlanta as they're off to a pretty hot start. An interception on the first drive from the New England Patriots. Yeah, they stalled out on their first drive. New England got the ball, threw it right back to them. ET3 with the INT, and then you have the Atlanta Falcons driving in with Ito Smith. Looking good so far, OSU. This might be one of those shootout NBL Super Bowls.
All right, this is my call. This is my Nostradamus call of this drive. The New England Patriots don't push the ball down the field a whole lot. If you see Tyree Jackson, it's a lot of underneath throws. It's a lot of throws to the flat and let his receivers make plays. I have a feeling they pushed the ball down the field on that last drive. He threw a pick. I think we're going to see a lot of drag routes, a lot of slant routes here on this drive.
Yeah, probably a lot of running. A lot of running formations, and if they get what they look, they're going to hand it off, or they're going to look to just get rid of the ball quick and get some confidence in their quarterback, the young quarterback, number 6, Tyree Jackson, see if he can get rocking and rolling early.
Right over the middle, that is Cortez Gresham with the catch. Did you see the user on the left side? It was just a streak route to N'Keal Harry. The user froze because he's waiting for that Will Stevens stretch run to the outside, and all of a sudden, N'Keal Harry was past him. Luckily, he had help over the top.
Yeah, when you got the cover, too, it gives you a little bit of, you can feel a little bit better as a corner if you're trying to make one of those instinctual plays right there, thinking it's a run, or maybe even thinking potentially just a slant or an out route. Nice little tackle there is going to put him in a third. Anytime, another thing I look for when I play the New England Patriots is force them to third down. So even when it's 2nd and inches, I'm going to play aggressively the run, because if I can force them into a third down, they do like to pass on these 3rd and shorts. You got an opportunity to get a turnover on downs here, or a punt on 4th down, and get an opportunity to get the ball back, because like I said, you do not want them playing from ahead. You want them multiple scores behind. That's when you have the best chance to beat this New England Patriots team.
And don't forget, Patriots gave up the first touchdown of the game yesterday in the AFC Championship game. They then rattle up 41 unanswered. So they can really score in a hurry as Dorsett on the jet sweep. Nice user there to bring down Hicks. That was the biggest thing I noticed yesterday, Bomber. I know you weren't on the call, but yesterday against the Baltimore Ravens, Z-Star's defensive stick was looking like pricey out there. It was a lot of missed tackles, and when you miss tackles in the Patriots, they make you pay.
And right there, it's because the New England Patriots and the user is a very patient runner. He's not going to do anything where he jerks one way or another. He's going to stay the course, and if you're getting a little too aggressive downhill, he's going to beat you to that sideline and turn it right upfield, as you saw it right there with the little jet touch pass to the speedster.
Play action, counter, pressure coming, down goes Jackson, and who else but Tack McKinley. What a season he has had for the Atlanta Falcons, getting to the quarterback.
Attack is back. He had 35 sacks this season, led the NBL, or was 2nd in the NBL. I think he might have actually been 2nd. We said on the Commissioner Corner podcast. Let me check real quick. Yeah, Myles Garrett had 36, but Tack had 35, a strong 2nd. He's still alive in the playoffs for a reason, because he brings the pain on the defensive side of the ball. Big 2nd and 19 coming up for this defense.
Will Stevens on the left hip. You got to think Dorsett on the slant route is where they're looking, because the blitz is coming. Oh, he's looking for Cortez Gresham. Oh, it's almost picked off, man. You're looking at your defense going, just catch the ball, man. Hey, guess what? Maybe you should have had tip drill.
I think what caught him off guard was a little bit. Look, he gets the deflection. That's Keanu Neal there, right? He gets the deflection, and then the ball hits off his shoulder pad on the way down. It kind of throws those defenders waiting to get that little tip drill action alive and well. But 3rd and 19, getting a little aggressive. They might be sending the heat here. Let's see what New England has in store offensively.
Gotta think they're pinning their ears back. Let's see how aggressive Motor decides to be, because the passing attack has not looked good. Shout out to Game Master with the 11 months of subscribing here on the MPL Network. See if the Patriots can make the Falcons pay for not.
Watch the corner. Watch the corner on the left side. You got a little fort concept. Dorsett and N'Keal Harry. That might be where he's looking, but pressure might get there early.
UT in coverage. And there's the pressure, and down goes Jackson. Changes name to Sack McKinley, his 2nd of the day.
Yeah, he had the corner out on the left side. N'Keal Harry got open. The user was sitting there in that yellow, kind of allowed the corner to break back to the sideline. But at that point, Tyree Jackson was already going through his progressions and was already looking on the right side of the field. There's another big sack from Tack. Can Atlanta pull away and get a 2-score lead on this drive? What do you think, OSU? You think they can put 7 on the board? They need 7. I don't want to see any settling for field goals.
Yeah, they need points nonetheless. If they walk away from this drive without points, you right now give Motor a ton of confidence, knowing that on his first couple drives he threw a pick and he had to punt the ball, something he hasn't had to do a whole lot. Tyree Jackson hasn't been quite so lights out accurate. Let's not forget, Sam McCoy in that NFC Championship game yesterday, he threw one incompletion. It wasn't an interception, but only one incompletion on the day. So Sam McCoy had himself a pretty accurate day as well. First down at 10. Shotgun formation for McCoy. Play action pass. They don't run it on first down this time, but here comes pressure, and the big man out of the University of Michigan, Chase Winovich, gives chase to Sam McCoy. That's a 10-yard loss. That is not what you wanted to do on a huge drive here as we enter the first quarter.
Yeah, you got to look at the rookie right there, dropping back a little too much. Just get out of the pocket, throw the ball away if you don't like what you see. I think he was looking at wheel route on the left side, had about a half step on the corner, but didn't trust his arm to make the throw. But Sam McCoy has to do a better job, looking like a little bit of a deer in headlights on that last possession. Chase Winovich, one more sack, and he unlocks his, what has he got, unstoppable force?
I believe so, yes. Sam McCoy, of course, the rookie out of Cal, the former Golden Bear. 2nd and 20. McCoy, pressure up the middle. Down goes McCoy again. Well, this is not what you wanted to do, as Eric Armstead, the former San Francisco 49er, with the sack. It's a 3rd and 27, and all of a sudden, Bomber, I mean, again, they're probably not picking up a 3rd and 27 against this defense, so the field gets flipped, and the Patriots don't have to work very hard to get a touchdown.
Eric Armstead has been a phenomenal frontline player for them. Nice veteran presence. They made a trade for him early in this cycle as well, brought him over to New England. He's played phenomenal, but I think once again, Miss Calvin Ridley on the post route could have stepped up and drove that ball. Sam McCoy just a little slow on his reads, coming off his progressions a little too soon.
This offensive line having a little bit of trouble. And let's remember that the reason why the Falcons scored in their last drive, they hit a little drag route to Gray. They were able to get out of the ball out of the hands of McCoy quickly. Now they're looking for some deeper routes, and that pass rush is getting there. McCoy rolling left side. That's a tough throw. Calvin Ridley makes the catch, though, at the 30-yard line. Not going to pick up the first down. They'll have to punt this one away. But, man, that was a risky throw on the left side.
Yeah, that was a very risky throw, and really the only upside to that pass was phenomenal field position now, a flip of about 30 yards. They netted about 23 yards on that throw, but still, that's a high risk for such a low reward. But now they're on the 27, so it doesn't look too bad now, but I would be talking to my quarterback, say, hey, calm down a little bit. I know you've been sacked a couple times. Maybe the pressure's getting there a little too quick. Go through your progressions, trust your reads. You had a phenomenal week last week. Let's continue building up this rookie quarterback and keeping his confidence going. And this wouldn't be the first rookie quarterback we've seen find his way into a Super Bowl. Remember the Cleveland Browns and Z-Star in Madden 19 towards the end of the cycle? Yep. He found his way right into right into a Super Bowl as well. He's an NBL Hall of Fame.
Oliver can't make the tackle, and Will Stevens gets up to the 43-yard line. This is where, Bomber, if the Patriots get that run game going with Will Stevens, I said it yesterday, keeping the Falcons is to keep them one-dimensional, because if you're having to guess whether the run is coming or the pass is coming, the Patriots are going to burn you.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why it's important to try to get a 2-score lead, because you're just hoping they get into a pass-heavy offense and kind of go away from Will Stevens. But as long as they keep it rocking and rolling with Will Stevens in the backfield, here goes Tevin Coleman in the game. Usually you think this is a passing down. They're actually going to hand it off to him.
You got to think Tevin Coleman wants to have a big game against his former team, as he'll pick up 6 yards on the ground, set to his 2nd and 4. Check out what's going on in the chat. Good to see everybody hanging out with us. Appreciate you spending your Monday with the NBL, a little Super Bowl action. JC Beeline saying Pats need points here. Another thriller. Wonder what Motor is thinking for this drive. He's thinking about putting the ball in the end zone. 2nd and 4. Strong eye formation. A little strong eye close. We'll split the fullback Vitale out to the right side. You got nobody over the top of him. Jackson will throw right to him.
Nice.
You can't make it that easy for Motor. You can't make him have the easy reads.
I've actually seen him do that against me, that exact same motion out, and I wonder how 45 even caught the ball. Now seeing it on this end, that's just a very smart move, kind of leak him out to the right side. Defense doesn't make any adjustments to account for the fullback in the backfield, and they make him pay, picking up a first down, keeping the chains moving here on their 3rd drive of the game.
There's Will Stevens trying to they're going to get a 15-yard face mask. That's brutal. Foye Oluku with the face mask, and it gives the Patriots a red zone drive for the first time. So first 2 drives didn't go the Patriots' way, Bomber, but they're able to get a stop defensively, and that seems to have given this offense a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, offensively, the New England Patriots are looking like they're starting to cook here in NBL Season 44, the Super Bowl. This is the perfect time, but down he goes.
Hey, who is it? It's Sack McKinley, 3rd sack of the day. We're not even to halftime yet, and Tack having himself a game.
The Tack attack 98 off the edge, 62 looking. He's looking, but he cannot put his eyes on Tack McKinley, because by the time you realize where he's at, he's probably already beat you right there. Just gets to the edge. You're just trying to hold at that point if you're 62, because you just really got to keep your quarterback from ended up on his back.
Uncluster for the New England Patriots. Shotgun formation. It's Tyree Jackson at the helm with Will Stevens on his left hip. 2nd and 19. Waiting, looking, taking a shot. Dorsett kneels over there. Almost makes a play. Can Oliver get his feet in? He cannot. Oh, that was so close to the second interception for Tyree Jackson. The Patriots are trying to sling the ball, and so far, the Falcons up to the test.
Yeah, I don't like that throw from Tyree Jackson. Usually when he makes that throw, you're thinking N'Keal Harry, Cameron Newton. These are guys with size and ability to make those physical catches, as my elbow just might have broken.
All right, GG's in the chat to Bomber's arm. First ever injury while calling a game.
Yeah. Maybe this is a sport after all. Maybe calling a game an esport, not esport, but calling the games, the esport games, might actually be a sport in itself as well, the way I just banged my elbow on there. That might be a day-to-day injury, guys. I'll let you know.
Gun spread and a conservative play call from Motor. He knows he wants points on this drive. Stevens will pick up nothing. It's going to set up a 47-yard field goal attempt from the left hash mark for the New England Patriots. It's not perfect, but he's going to get this one off, and it's going to go right down the middle. The Patriots are on the board here in the Super Bowl. It is 7-3. Falcons, big drive upcoming.
Yeah, this is the most important drive of the game. If I'm Atlanta, I'm talking to Sam McCoy before he gets out there. If I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm going, look, Sam, we need to keep the chains moving. We got 2:20 left, 2-minute drill. Let's drive down, get the last points on the board before the half, and let's flex some muscle here. Let's go with the running attack. Let's make our reads, and when the time is right, let's take a shot down the field. Don't get too antsy. Trust your reads. Trust the play calling, and let's go put some points on the board. And hopefully that doesn't shake him up too much, because that was a lot. You know, that was a lot before he's getting there. He's already taking a couple sacks. Maybe you just want to tell him, go in there and get it. But I like to tell him, let's go ahead and put some points on the board. Give him that confidence he might need with 2:17 left.
Patriots looking for back-to-back Super Bowl titles here in the Madden Bomber League. Season 43 Super Bowl champions last year. 1st and 10 for the Atlanta Falcons. Sam McCoy under center in that single back deuce close. Dropping back to pass. Got the drag route underneath. That's Calvin Ridley. He'll pick up a nice chunky yard. So if Motor were to come away with this win, it would be his 4th title?
I think that would be number 5. I could look right now.
And if Cringe would be his 2nd, correct?
If Cringe win, it would be number 2, absolutely.
Is it 5? It might be 5. Man, you lose track once they've done it a lot. Because he did have one back with Allen Rose and the Miami Dolphins. Maybe 5. 2nd and 2 for the Atlanta Falcons. Shotgun formation, 2 in the backfield. Ito Smith on his left hip, Austin Hooper on his right. He's going to hand this one to Ito Smith, trying to find some room in the middle. This Patriots run defense has been up to the task. 4 carries, 5 yards, but he has found the end zone. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. It is NBL Live broadcast 329 here on the NBL Network. Nick Mazesco, Bomber, along with you. Make sure you hit that follow button so you know each and every time we go live here on the Madden Bomber League Network. Season 45 upcoming. We'll have plenty of NBL Live.
Yeah, this will be the 5th Super Bowl for Motor, and this would be number 2 for Cringe. Cringe up 7-3. Big 3rd down. Biggest 3rd down of the game. You see that double buzz come in. They love that play. You got to break a corner route on them.
And hey, how about Austin Hooper? He's a pretty good tight end to be running that corner out with. Give him 17. They only needed 2. Great recognition by Atlanta. I wonder if they scouted that one, because the Patriots love running that man double buzz on 3rd and 5 and under.
Yeah, anytime you see a 3rd down in which it's, like you said, a 3rd and manageable is what most offenses would call it, and you see 2 high safeties, and it looks like man, you have to 100% assume that's double buzz. You got to have some kind of outward breaking route to kind of beat that defense.
Especially once you see that soft coverage. It's not cover 2 man where they're more pressed up. A shout out to Tout with the 21 months of Twitch Prime sub. 7-month streak. Come on, Tout. You fell apart there somewhere in the middle, but you get back on the track. Appreciate the love, my friend. As he starts saying, Neil Romo. 1st and 10. McCoy in that gun spread. He'll drop back to pass. Only a 3-man rush from the path. A nice safe throw underneath to Sammy Watkins, the former Buffalo Bill and Kansas City Chief.
When you got the speed to kind of beat this team east and west, yes, you're only picking up 4 or 5, but those little chunks are big. They keep drives alive and not only put your offense in a better situation, it puts more pressure on this defense. This is a defense that's predicated on getting stops and forcing you to field goals or forcing you to punt. Atlanta's continuing to do everything right on 1st down.
McCoy on 2nd and 6. Pressure cut. Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. Accurate. accurate throw. As he starts saying we should pay you $17 million. The Tony Romo salary.
35 was just sitting there, and I don't think he even saw him. I mean, it looked like an easy little pitch and catch, and it's one of those things where you have a guy like, a rookie like Sam McCoy. He sees his tight end open, but he's not really using his vision underneath to recognize, hey, there's a defender kind of baiting me into that throw, able to get a hand on it. Those are a couple swat downs that could have been interceptions so far. Let's see if New England changes it up moving forward. They have an opportunity to probably get some turnovers if they go for the interception.
A little double A gap. It's a cover one hole, looking at the corner route. Oh, how about the pick? Is that Xavier Woods on the outside, matched up with Austin Hooper? Knew the corner out was coming and said, give me that.
That was one thing you did not want to do if I'm Atlanta. That was thrown way behind him. And Woods, instead of swatting this one down, he makes a play on the ball and gets a turnover. Now 50 seconds left, 3 timeouts. This is when the New England Patriots are very dangerous. They can flip the game here as Tyree Jackson calling for the crowd to kind of calm down as he makes the adjustments at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, the former Dallas Cowboy making plays in man coverage, 1st and 10. Looking deep down the field, that's Cameron Newton. But how about the safety play from the Atlanta Falcons today? Earl Thomas and Keanu Neal have not let anything get down the field.
Yeah, Keanu Neal, ET3, their dash and smash. Crash and dash, excuse me. They crash down when the ball's in the air, and then they smash the opponent. And right there, you see the wide receiver just not able to hang on to the ball. And that's a team, OSU, and I can attest to this. They hang on to a lot of those throws.
That's infuriating. Cortez Gresham shakes off one time, can't shake off the second. 36 seconds. The Patriots take a timeout. EG, I timed Cringe out about 4 seconds before we went live. I handled that. Cringe was in chat all day yesterday, Bomber, and would not stop complaining about the game that he won.
Typical Cringe.
So I timed it out. I timed it out on this one, too.
We had a guy open on the middle of the field that last play. Could have picked up a few yards, maybe even fell forward for a first.
I have a
Those
feeling.
without.
I have a feeling they're going to be looking at angle route with Stevens. You saw him double team, Tack McKinley. Angle route. Good user, but it's going to get open because nobody's... Oh, he's looking right side. What's he doing? Inaccurate pass. It's Keanu Neal who hits some room. Inside the 40, inside the 30, inside the 20. Toe tap down the sidelines to the 16-yard line. Will Stevens wide open on the angle route. He looks for the comeback route on the left side, and Keanu Neal has the easiest interception of his career.
Yeah, kind of threw it right to him. As you see, both quarterbacks a little suspect on these final drives, but right now it's almost as if Atlanta didn't turn the ball over. And let's just say their drive continued. They still got 3 timeouts, 24 seconds left. A lot of time to try to find their way into the end zone.
And you talk about a critical mistake. You thought Sam McCoy got bailed out. That mistake was huge because it puts the Falcons in scoring position inside the red zone. 24 seconds and a full complement of timeout. Sam McCoy has trips over to the right side and Austin Hooper alone on the left side. They love looking for Hooper one-on-one with corner outs. Looks like a zone coverage here from the Patriots. They'll take underneath, and I love the low throw to Marquise Goodwin. You take that low throw against zone coverage, Bomber, and it keeps them from running into that second zone, that second yellow on the left side.
Yeah, so nice job possession catching it right there to get it to a 2nd and 3, but it's like you said, you're going to take what's given to you against those zones. They're going to find the soft spot. 20 seconds left, 2 timeouts, a lot of time for Atlanta. They could still run the ball.
Back into that trips formation. McCoy drops back, 3-man rush, and he's rolling out towards Chase Winovich. Bomber, I'm not an expert. I'm not in the Super Bowl. I didn't even get in the playoff. Don't roll towards Chase Winovich.
Yeah, we saw this with the Kansas City Chiefs. That's happened in the divisional round. Patrick Mahomes was sacked 9 times because of the contain that you get from Winovich. And, even on the other side of the ball where you got, I believe you got Evans over there, and he's going to contain you and force you to play inside the pocket. You're not the fleet of foot kind of quarterback. McCoy is very slow-footed. So stay in the pocket, make your reads, and get rid of the ball.
Coog says, I'd run it, see if you can find a hole with timeouts, and Z-Star comes back with lies. You'd force it to DK Metcalf in triple coverage. Backed. McCoy dropping back. X-Factor activated for Winovich. Steps to the right side. Throws it to double coverage. Can Gray make a play? He cannot.
Lucky.
Hey, Sam. Settle down, young fella.
3 is okay. 3 is okay right now. I still want the 6, but after that sack that Winovich had on 3rd down, I probably would have ran maybe a screen, maybe even that play-action jailbreak screen. I mean, when it does work, it's deadly, right? It's still a conservative throw, or maybe just a touch pass or some kind of swing to the halfback, because I'd played safe there because I didn't want that throw to even happen. And as you saw, it was almost picked off. That could have been detrimental to this team trying to win this game.
There goes Hamilton before the half. Can the Patriots tie this one up? Swerve inside on Earl Thomas. Thomas couldn't make the play. Special teams matter as the Patriots capitalize on a crucial mistake, and my PTSD is rolling from being a Dallas Cowboys owner.
Yeah, right there. The special team shows you why it's special. Little short kick picked up, and he catches it on the run, and the user had an opportunity to make a tackle at the end. He came in a little too hot. He should have played a little bit more conservative, and I think he would have found that our man Motor was going to just cut right back to where you were. I would have been waiting on that, but instead he kind of just walks by him. Oh man, the Patriots got an opportunity here. That was a nice little 2-for-1 flip.
I hate kickoffs.
So you're more of an XFL guy, or what?
More of a rugby guy. Well, just like that, we got a 10-10 score, 10 minutes away from crowning a champ. The Patriots, a huge momentum play. As if Cringe wasn't timed out in the chat, I'm sure he'd be in there whining and moaning. Project Fat says he's back from his nap. Jason Beeline in the chat saying, wow, that was crazy. That's how you lose games. LJ Dub 0 saying kick return touchdown and ball back at half dramatically swings things though. Toss play, Will Stevens outside, trying to find some room. Lockhart. It was just a little suctiony on the outside. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. It's NBL Live broadcast 329 here on the NBL Network. Nick Mazesco, your NBL Network director, joined by the commissioner of the NBL. It is Bomber. We are so happy you're hanging out with us on this Monday night Super Bowl action. The season 44 Super Bowl. Patriots looking for back-to-back titles. The 5th for owner Motor. The Atlanta Falcons owner Cringe looking for his second. 2nd and 7. Tevin Coleman. First down and more inside the 40 to the 37.
Yeah, 2 rushes, 20 yards for Tevin Coleman. He's been in the game twice. He's played 2 snaps. He's got the handoff both times. So this is usually a kind of a, I wouldn't even say a breather back for Will Stevens. This is more of a guy they kind of throw in there when they're going to pass it, and maybe Stevens is a little bit out of gas, and he really can't go on this play. They throw him in there, but he's ran the ball twice. That's really against the consistency we've seen offensively for this team. So you got to know, even in the Super Bowl, changing some things up, giving guys opportunity, trusting in their backups.
And plus, I mean, you think it's factoring in at all, you know, Bomber, you know, as a Madden player, you got to go with the ebbs and flows of the game. So far, the Patriots have not been able to pass the ball at all. So you got to think, you know, maybe some of this game plan change is let's get to the ground game, let's establish that and see if that doesn't open things up. Yeah,
and when you're sitting 10-10 right now, that big special teams return at the end of the half, it allows you to be comfortable and just saying, I'm going to run the ball and we're going to see what's going to happen. 2nd and 12, you might come out and run it again. Trips to the right side. Watch motion with Newton here. They're definitely going to be looking at the tight end RB.
Second down and 12. Pistol formation for Tyree Jackson. Up seam. The seam was open. Throws it to Dorsett. Bomber, a Patriots receiver, didn't catch the ball.
Yeah, I think right now Tyree Jackson is just overthinking it. He's going away from his traditional reads because of the interceptions. You know, it's your Burton past history that's really just kind of mucking it up for Tyree Jackson. What is he throwing? 3 of 11, 4 of 12. He's not looking good right now, not looking comfortable, and his throws are very suspect. 3rd and 12. Don't be surprised you see a little draw run here from New England. They just take the lead.
It's weird because that when they have that bunch verticals play, if you recognize zone coverage, that inside little wheel seam is the money throw. So they're going to have to back up 5. That's a huge false start because now it's a 61-yard field goal. See what the Patriots decide to do if they get a little aggressive here to get back in field goal range. A 3rd and 17 upcoming. Tyree Jackson back into that gun. 3 wide receivers to the left side, 1 to the right side, 1 tight end on the right side of the formation. That is Cortez Gresham. The double team put on to Tack McKinley, who has been contained ever since that double team has been coming. 3rd down. Oh, man, did he almost get there? Will Stevens can't get away. How big is that false start? Because this is a much harder kick, and it looks like the game's suggesting a punt. They can go for it here if they want. 58 yards. And Bomber, when the game suggests punt, I don't think your guy has the leg.
Yeah, usually that's the case, but we've seen this New England Patriots kicker. You saw it in NBL Season 40 versus my Texans. He kicked the 62-yarder, did have the wind against him. I'm with him, excuse me. This might be a different scenario, but you never trust the...
Punt is...
Not a bad punt. Inside the 10.
Bold play not calling for the fair catch there. Can I just point that out?
Yeah, maybe afraid that ball was going to take a very terrible bounce and back him up. But that was a very fortunate offsides, as you said, because you looked at that score right now, 10-10. You felt New England was definitely going to come away with 3 for sure, and right now they come away with nothing. So Atlanta, yeah, they give up a touchdown to end the first half on a special teams, but there's some momentum can be gained by this nice defensive stance they come out on that first drive from New England here, as it's still knotted up at 10 apiece.
Yeah, you got to think 54-yard field goal from where they were. They probably just run the ball there and take their 3, but the false start means they got to get some yardage. It's nice blocking on the outside. First time we've seen this Falcons run blocking actually have some success, and a nice run stick there from Cringe, finding the inside hole and picks up a first down with Ito Smith.
Yeah, one thing against the New England Patriots that's very tough to do is those toss plays, setting the edge, because the linebackers, the corners, the secondary are so aware of, they have such high play recognition. They're aware of what's going to happen, especially post-snap. They're crashing down, but right there they do a great job of setting blocks up in front of Ito Smith, and he's able to make them pay as he keeps the chains moving here for Atlanta.
See, I want to know how Motor gets that to happen, because if you notice right there, the minute the ball was snapped, both linebackers, nobody dropped back. Everybody was up in the hole knowing that it was a run play. It's not a run commit, but his linebackers were just already there.
Yeah, if you really want to take a look at these linebackers, it kind of reminds me back when I had Bernard McKinney in the run game. He was phenomenal for me. But, yeah, you're seeing these type of players at the linebacker position just make plays and crash down. Especially if he doesn't get past. Nowhere to go.
There were three, count them, 3 blue jerseys in the backfield, 3rd and 23 upcoming. Is it just play rec? Like, I'm legitimate.
It's not even. I'm looking. The awareness isn't even there. But he's got a lot of really solid speed at the linebacker position. I don't know what kind of boost they're playing with. Maybe they got confidence up.
I don't think that's run commit, Nemo, because it wasn't. The linebackers didn't crash that hard. They just sort of sat low, and then when the ball was handed off, they stayed there. I have no answer. It is continued about. That's cover 3 lock, it looks like, out of that dime 1-4-6. Or 2-3.
Jackson special.
McCoy steps up. McCoy sits down. Lucky that's not a safety. They're going to have to punt from their own end zone.
Speaking of Stackhouse, big shout out to Jerry Stackhouse, drafted by the Philadelphia 76ers. Spent some time with the Dallas Mavericks. Spent some time with the Detroit Pistons. Actually, I think Stack was drafted by the Pistons.
He was.
Am I wrong?
Yep.
Yeah. And then he got traded
when they had the old
to,
horse uniforms.
Yeah. He was playing with Grant Hill. That's right. And then he got traded to the Philadelphia 76ers for, well, I don't know. I don't even know now. I thought Allen Houston was on the Pistons at that time too. I'm confused. Shout out to Jerry Stackhouse, one of the better dunkers. He's what Corey Maggette always aspired to be, but never could.
76ers ship Stackhouse.
So the Sixers drafted Stack. Because he did play with Iverson for a year.
Yep.
And there's that big hit we're talking about.
Detroit,
Keanu Neal lays the lumber. He hangs onto the ball. It could have been a fumble. Look, you thought that you were going to get that fumble animation. Just doesn't happen. 1st and 10. N'Keal Harry, is he not one of the best? I mean, he is just strong, physical, holds on to almost everything, nearly everything.
Here's some names for you. It was 76ers sent Stackhouse and Eric Montross to the Pistons for
UNC
Theo
center.
Ratliff, Aaron McKee, and a 1st-round pick.
Well, that makes sense. Okay. I mean, that was a terrible trade, but maybe the 1st-round pick had something.
1st and 10, handoff Will Stevens right side, spins off of 1 tackle. He'll get to the 39-yard line. Stevens has spin cycle, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does a good job right there, just recognizing, making the first man miss with a little spin. He does have spin cycle, and he's been making them pay. 2nd and 5 here for New England. And this is a 10-10 game, and all the opportunities you think Atlanta has had that kind of squandered, I think they're going to end up losing this game just because they've given New England way too many chances so far.
Who's saying it says Motors run that 3-4 cover 4 drop 97 times and averages only 0.7 yards a play against. That is unreal. Yeah, shout out to Latrell Sprewell, my guy. Tyree Jackson dropping back, pressure trying to get there. Cortez Gresham one-on-one. He makes the play, matched up on the linebacker, and he is just too tough to get one-on-one. Tyree Jackson only 7 of 13 passing the ball. He's thrown a couple picks, but he has the Patriots inside the red zone.
Yeah, this is one of those games where we're going to forget about the first 3 quarters. It's going to come down to who comes up big in the fourth quarter. Can the Atlanta Falcons hold this Patriots team at the 20-yard line to 3 points? Can they create a turnover, or is New England going to clutch up like they normally do and find their way into the end zone and finally get ahead in this game by a full touchdown? As you know, Atlanta was first on the board 7-0. Then it went 7-3, and they were able to get a field goal, and then New England scored before the end of the half with a kick return to knot it up at 10. So here we go. First play of the fourth down.
I'll know what it
fourth
is.
Quarter.
Put your 4s up in the chat. It is fourth quarter time. Here in the season 44 Super Bowl, we are knotted up 5 minutes away from crowning a champ. Cringe went for the pick, but Gresham had absolute position there.
I think he could have got around with 22. Keanu Neal could have got around the receiver there, the tight end, and probably not batted the ball down. But right there, he goes for the glory, tries to step in front of the tight end, but really just not even close to having any type of position to go for the ball. A little too aggressive there for Cringe, to be expected. Inside the 10, New England's one of the best in the business, one of the top red zone offenses in the NBL, because they don't come away with 3, they come away with TDs, and I expect that to happen right now. Shotgun formation here for Tyree Jackson.
First and goal, handoff, Will Stevens up the middle. Good defense on the interior. See some love in the chat. Hey, if you got that sub badge, if you've been subscribing to the NBL Network, we appreciate you. Throw your NBLs up in the chat. What a great Super Bowl we've had so far. And we want to thank Elgato one more time for being a sponsor of NBL Live and the NBL Live pregame show. Check them out, Elgato.com. I use every one of their products. I legitimately do. The stream decks, the key lights, the capture cards when I'm streaming. It is a great array of products. Check them out, Elgato.com, and thank you for supporting Madden streamers and the franchise mode here with the Madden Bomber League. Second down and goal for the New England Patriots. Tyree Jackson dropping back, waiting, looking. He's going to try to take off. He's past the line of scrimmage.
Oh, baby. Oh, talk about some Patriots luck there. I've never seen the ball go down to somebody's chest and anybody actually able to make a play after that. That's the first time I've ever seen a play happen or the ball actually be catchable by anybody once the ball hits the chest and starts rattling around like that. But how would that have been, Nick, if that was actually 7 on the board?
I begged for that animation 800,000 times. Right side, Stevens spins off the first tackle.
Nice spin.
Can't spin off this. I begged for that. And the number of times it's been sitting there on my wide receiver's chest or on the chest of the defender who I've just pried the ball free with a thunderous hit from Jalen Smith, and I can't get that animation!
Yeah, me too. I think everybody in the league has never got that animation, except for the Patriots this one time, but he was past the line of scrimmage and he ruined it.
Team 10 to score. Oh,
no. Right back at you, baby.
Marquise Goodwin saying, ISO can do it, I can do it too. The former Dallas Cowboy represent Marquise to the house. The Falcons repay the special teams touchdown with one of their own.
And that's big, a quick response. This is a New England Patriots offense that just got off the field. They settle for 3. They're inside the 7. Usually that's touchdown city. So, man, it's kind of leaning. Momentum just now shifted back to the Atlanta Falcons up 4. Can Motor and the New England Patriots respond? He's going for his 5th NBL Super Bowl. Prince is going for his 2nd, but that's a big-time response, and I guess tit for tat a little bit, Nick. 2 special teams touchdowns here in NBL Super Bowl 44.
But see, unlike ISO's game winner against me, he didn't just hold forward on the stick and the game let him score. He actually had some nice stick work there. A little bit of swerve, little wind and weave. He found the end zone with Marquise Goodwin. 17-13, Falcons on top. 1st and 10. Play action pass for Tyree Jackson. Look underneath to Cortez Gresham and Bomber. Yeah. For all we talk about Cameron Newton and all we talk about N'Keal Harry, it's been Cortez Gresham doing the damage against the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, and that's just bad usering right there. You see he's ahead of you, headed to the sideline. You have to change your pursuit angle, head upfield, and then try to make a tackle from behind with 54. But right there, he just bails out. He stays right on the line of the receiver. I'd like to see him just kind of concede to that catch and then maybe give up 7 or 8. But right there, they're able to get a first down off it.
First and 10. Oh, he's at the crosser. Deep down the field. Can Oliver get there?
that could've been
Inaccurate. He
picked.
almost picked it off. That's one you can hit
That's
the
when
Y
you go
button.
for the pick.
Go for the pick there. He just swatted it right into the ground. No one's catching this one.
Yeah, Tyree Jackson has not been good today. Surprisingly, as you said, 150 QBR, 80% completion. They might have an opportunity just because of that. They're going to have to go away from the run game maybe a little bit with 4 minutes left. And as unstable as Tyree Jackson has looked today, that could be kind of the Achilles heel for this offense.
Young cluster for the New England Patriots. 3 to the left side, 1 over to the right side. That's Cameron Newton. Not that Cam, the other Cam. Second and 10.
Watch Dorsett or N'Keal Harry here on the corner.
How about Harry on the corner? Work for you? Good for you?
Good for me. That's the problem you have with any kind of press or any kind of contact within the first 5 yards with N'Keal Harry. He's just going to put you where he wants you, and right there he puts him inside and uses the leverage outside. Oh, baby.
Woo, he almost jumped that screen with Hicks. Able to make the tackle, loss of 3 on the play.
Well, actually, from the different angle, it was much.
It didn't look nearly as close from that replay. That replay did not make it look good.
Yeah, he definitely played it a little bit more conservative as far as his approach, and it still went for the aggressive. For the interception. Here we go.
Go for the swat.
Big second down. That's the one you probably go for the swat.
Second 13, over the middle, picked off E.T. 3, Earl Thomas, the ageless wonder. Did he just seal a Super Bowl title? His second pick of the game. He's been monstrous.
It's not over yet. Both of these teams have been the comeback kids. Anytime you've seen them down and out in the fourth quarter, especially with 2 minutes left, 3 minutes left, they've always been able to find their way back into a game. Yeah, here's the situation. 17-13, you're up 4. If you can get down into field goal range and make this a 7-point game, you got to feel good about it. But I still would not count the New England Patriots out unless Atlanta can get a touchdown on the board. And they still got to burn a little bit of clock for me to be 100% sure or 90% sure they're walking away NBL Super Bowl champions.
The Falcons fans are at home. I know right now they're saying E.T. phone home. Earl Thomas has been clutch. Quick slant to Calvin Ridley. It was wide open. I love the play call from the Falcons. They're not afraid to air it out to their star wide receiver out of the University of Alabama.
Yeah, you see right there, that's just a nice pitch and catch. That's an easy read, easy throw, and that is where you're going to notice the absence of that star cornerback. No Stephon Gilmore, so where's the user? He's not thinking to be over there on Calvin Ridley to stop any kind of quick drag or an out because he's had Gilmore over there before, and right now it's kind of all breaking down here for the New England Patriots.
2:36 and counting. NBL rules, you can't kill the clock until under the 2-minute warning, so that's why you don't see any chew clock on yet. Hand off to Ito Smith. Big hit at Xavier Woods in the hole, bringing down Ito Smith. The run game for the Falcons hasn't worked, but man, their defense is the story in this one, Bomber. We questioned whether the Falcons could get stops against the high-powered Patriots defense, and they have done just that.
Yeah, great gap play from this linebacker core of the New England Patriots. Let's see if we get another corner here. Got the drag open, doesn't take it.
He's taking a shot. One-on-one. Calvin Ridley can't make the play.
I missed the drag open. Yeah.
I just question, is there a chance that Calvin Ridley had double me activated? And that's why he went for a one-on-one.
But J.C. Jackson has ability.
He has an ability. That's why it didn't work.
I think
Spongy with a great point in the chat. I love
he's
this point
X-Factor.
from Spongy. He has to play to win, not play not to lose. Got to stay aggressive here. 2:03 to go, 3rd down and 8. Field goal puts him up by a full touchdown, so he can't take a sack here either. They're on the 32-yard line.
Like this is a run.
And this is a cover 0 blitz from the New England Patriots. They're pressed up on the outside.
Watch Hooper. If he does throw this, look at Hooper.
McCoy dropping back. Here comes the pressure. It is Austin Hooper over the middle. Oh, Neil Stradamus is what I'm going to call you. With the call to Austin Hooper, it was the one place where there was soft coverage, and it was a great call to put Austin Hooper just on that slant route out of the slot.
Yeah, it was a little too obvious. If I'm usering, I'm definitely, the way my defense is aligned, I have to be against Austin Hooper just because of, like you said, there was too much space in the middle of the field, and his favorite target, Sam McCoy, and this Atlanta Falcons offense for years and years and seasons has been Austin Hooper since Madden 20 started. Ito Smith's going to be out here.
That's
kind of big.
I don't care about the injury to Ito Smith. That's not it. It's that the Falcons saved a timeout from the Patriots because they had to use one under 2 minutes. That's killer.
You always look at those type of things, and it comes back to haunt you when you see seconds on the board. If they do hold them to 3 and New England scores with 10 seconds left, you wonder, well, what happens if they didn't have that injury timeout? If you get hurt on my team, you have to walk off the field. You absolutely have to, unless a stretcher's needed.
Cougs in the chat saying, get this Messiah some white Russians. Let's go back to Topgolf. It's Goodwill. Oh, you know who? Did the Falcons just seal a Super Bowl title? Bounces off his own blocker and finds the end zone. The Falcons are up by 2 scores late against the defending Super Bowl champs. What a performance by Cringe and these gutsy Atlanta Falcons.
Now here's the deal. Everything we've seen from Tyree Jackson today has been complete opposite of what we've seen from him throughout the regular season and the playoffs up to this point. So right now, down 11, this is Tyree Jackson's time. They're going to put it on the arm of Tyree. Does he have anything special in the tank for the 25-year-old going against this ball-hawking secondary? You got to know. And really, it's been disappointing for the Patriots. You look at 13 points put up, and 7 of them, Nick, came at the end of the first half on a special teams kickoff return.
They have not scored an offensive touchdown today. 2 field goals and that kick return touchdown. That is all the offense from Tyree Jackson. Almost 150 quarterback rating, and no offensive touchdown. That's one of my favorite plays. I actually have no idea what this play is. I changed it up, but I love that slot post. That's probably where he's looking. Safety over the middle, holds it. Jackson looks over the middle. Ooh, buddy. Woo, buddy. That was almost GG's in the chat.
And you notice Tyree Jackson isn't throwing that, clean in the pocket. He's throwing under duress. His internal clock is going off a little early as well. He's falling to his feet as he's releasing that ball. There is just a lot of bad things happening on the offensive side of the ball for the New England Patriots. And in turn, the Atlanta Falcons defense. I mean, how phenomenal have they been today? We didn't think that they'd be able to just lock this team up. And, man, they've just done a great job. This is a top 10 defense in the NBL showing out here in NBL season 44 Super Bowl.
Jackson dropping back on 2nd and 10, looks over the middle field. That's N'Keal Harry with the catch to the 45-yard line. Planning in the chat saying, I predicted Cringe 31-14, just saying. Cool, so you were wrong. First down and 10 for Tyree Jackson. How much caffeine did Cringe have before the game? Oh, there's lots of coffee running through his veins. That's Cortez Gresham, but a good hit by Sheffield to pry that one free. Minute 12 to go, still an 11-point game.
Yeah, we talk about how great the New England Patriots receivers are at hanging on to the ball throughout contact. If there is one person on this team that you look at and say, yeah, he doesn't hang on to the ball very well and he gets a lot of targets, it's the tight end Cortez Gresham. He will drop the ball, but N'Keal Harry and the other receiver on the outside, Cameron Newton, those 2 guys, they hang on to the ball through contact. Everybody else, it's 50-50 up in the air.
2nd and 10, Jackson stepping up, looking down the middle. Hey, Hicks. Put your hands up, bro. Just stick them up.
Kind of right over the top of the linebacker there.
Yes, but it's still wrong. It's still incorrect. First down and 10. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Jackson over the middle. That's Burnett with the catch. Down to the 9-yard line, 33 seconds. New England saving all 3 timeouts. Why use it there? Like, at this point, you've already held your 3 timeouts. Hurry up, spike the ball.
Well, and they took the runoff. He no-huddled it, took the runoff, then called the timeout. So, mental error there. It was 32 seconds left. He takes the runoff down to 21, realizes, oh, crap, I might as well burn it. And, well, at that point, he already took the runoff. You might as well just call the play.
Yeah, just a waste of 11 seconds. Like, use your timeout there then before you do the hurry up. Z starts saying motor shook. That's what it looks like. Mushroom saying that's called GG's. First and goal, Tyree Jackson dropping back to pass. Looking back at the end zone. That guy.
That's a souvenir.
That guy in the green vest has a sweet Super Bowl souvenir. Who wears a sweater vest to a football game? Can somebody answer that for me?
Project Fat, maybe.
That's fair. 2nd and goal. Dorsett. Harry, you know you're looking for Harry on that dig route. There it is. There's the throw. And, N'Keal Harry dropped the ball. The end is here. The end is nigh.
Yeah, a lot of great players in the secondary for the Atlanta Falcons making plays. The ball gets released. They're hawking down. They're pursuing the ball in the air, and they're able to get contact on the receiver and making it really tough. For a Patriots wide receiver core that's not really known for their separation, they're known for the strong hands, and the strong hands have been tested today by the pretty much battering ram secondary of the Atlanta Falcons.
I'm sorry I had to time you out for that joke. 4th and goal, 9 seconds left. The party is going in the ATL right now. The Dirty South, they're doing the Dirty Bird, they're doing everything. Celebrating Cringe's 2nd Super Bowl title. Ball is down, the kick is up. And see, again, Bomber, you're talking about, you're talking about mental mistakes. If I'm Motor, I take that time out. I'm kicking the field goal right then to give myself a chance. Even if for some reason the game gave you an onside kick there, you got 4 seconds left. Why not kick that field goal right away?
Or even when there was 50 seconds left and you were in field goal range, why not maybe just go for the kick there and say, hey, we got 3 timeouts. We're going to play some defense here, and we're going to try to get the ball back and go for the tie and try to put the pressure back on this offense without Ito Smith. But right there, congratulations, Atlanta Falcons. They're going to be the NBL Season 44 Super Bowl champions of the world.
It is knee-knees and GGs. The Atlanta Falcons and Cringe, the 2nd Super Bowl title for Kris Kringle. The man timed out in chat for whining about the NFC Championship game. How about whining about this? You got yourself your 2nd title. What a performance, Bomber. Might be the most impressive performance I've ever seen in the Super Bowl, just because of, I think, how everybody thought this game was going to go. And they were able to force 3 turnovers against the New England Patriots team. And when that honestly, I don't know about you, Bomber, but when that kickoff return came at the end of the first half, I thought, that's it. Going in 10-10, the Patriots are going to run away with this one. And Cringe never let it bother him and was able to bring home his 2nd title.
When you play a team like the New England Patriots that are usually so careful with the ball, they really know how to stretch games out, move the chains, not turn the ball over, get points on the board nearly every drive. When you give them as many opportunities that the Atlanta Falcons gave them in that first half, where they didn't capitalize on opportunities that they had, just leaving the window open, and then for the half to end with that kick return, you just thought, there's just no way Atlanta's going to come away with this. They've already kind of blown the minimal opportunities that they're going to be given by the New England Patriots, but that defense of the Falcons just kept fighting.
All right, I've never seen that before, but I was just looking through the crowd, and all the Patriots fans and their Patriots jerseys are still in their seats, and everyone has their head down. It's pretty fun. They gave the player of the game to Tack McKinley. He had 4 sacks in a great game, but for me, Bomber, it's all about Earl Thomas and what he was able to do for this defense.
Yeah, ET3 played phenomenal. He got the party started with that first interception on the right side, that little corner route. He got underneath it, was able to hawk while the ball was in the air and made a play over the shoulder, and just really flustered Tyree Jackson. 55.5% completion percentage for Tyree today. This is a guy that was 83% in the regular season. 186 yards on the day for Tyree, 0 touchdowns. All he threw today was interceptions. And you look at Tyree Jackson, 47 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. This is a very disappointing way to end a phenomenal season that he had. Him and the New England Patriots, they got to feel like they left a little too much on the field, or didn't bring enough on the field tonight to get it done, because, man, this would have been a very historic season for them of pure dominance for the New England Patriots. But then they come away with the loss, and everyone's just going to remember that Atlanta Falcons phenomenal game versus the Minnesota Vikings. They took it to OT, and they came out and just kind of punched the bully in his mouth early and often in this game.
Bomber Season 44 is in the books. We head to the 45th season of the Madden Bomber League. It's always an exciting time for owners, off-season free agency. We know there's going to be some player movement with trades and with that free agency, but man, oh man, Season 44 was an exciting one. It looked like the Patriots were destined to win the title. The Falcons ripped this one away. The NFC gets a title, and now, Bomber, the best part is every team is 0-0, and we get to see who's going to come out on top next season.
Yeah, it all starts back over, and we roll it back. Tyree's going to have some he's going to definitely have some regrets in this game, and let's see if that fuels the fire for the soon-to-be 26-year-old heading into NBL Season 45. A lot of storylines to play out here in the NBL, but another successful season for the Madden Bomber League.
We're going to raid somebody. I think our guy in the grid, K. Harry, is streaming right now. He's doing some LCQ grind, it looks like. Let me see. I think I saw him. Maybe? Maybe I'm just making things up. We'll throw a raid. We'll throw a raid over to Zan, as he is on stream right now. So much love to everybody in the chat hanging out with us. Make sure you show your MBLs in the chat for Zan. Let him know how much we love him as a member of the Madden community, and make sure you hit that follow button so you know each and every time we go live. Next season, we're gonna have a lot of NBL live next year. My travel schedule is turned way down, so we're gonna have plenty of NBL live. Starting off with week 1, so don't miss that one. We do have Madden live coming up on Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here, twitch.tv/NBL Network. I believe
Which that will be the draft. We're gonna do the draft on Sunday.
Oh boy, 2-hour draft show. That's gonna be fun.
We'll talk about it. We'll discuss it.
Let's see. We got the raid set up. Make sure you throw your MBLs in the chat. Let them know the Madden Bomber League sent you over there. And for my co-host Bomber, I'm your NBL Network Director, Nick Mazesco. Congratulations one more time to the Atlanta Falcons. They are your Season 44 NBL Super Bowl champions, and we will see you next year for Season 45 action right here on NBL Live.